I'm Oscar. Pat didn't make it today. Not feeling well. Oh, thank God. Pat's here.
Okay, good job, Oscar. Good job, good job. Sorry, thought the show started at 7:30. Then they tell me it starts at 7. I'm like, Oscar, give me a light, would you? We can't smoke in here. What do you mean we can't smoke? Since when? Oh, man. All right, so anyway, hi. Welcome to Chicago A.B.A.T.E TV. My name is Dan Harper. I am, I don't know, what am I now? I think I'm PR director for right now. Past state legislative coordinator, past legislative coordinator for Chicago chapter, past vice president of Chicago chapter, past activities coordinator for Chicago chapter. Long time ago. So, for those of you that haven't figured it out yet, Pat is off. He's a little bit under the weather, so I get you guys get to deal with me for right now. So, the only way to get a hold of me, because if you call Pat's cell or text Pat's cell, you're not going to get to me. You can call in at 312-738-1060. Or, if you have my cell phone number and know I'm not giving it out, you can text me on that. I'll put it out even. So, okay. Something I started a long time ago is the mission of A.B.A.T.E of Illinois. The mission of A.B.A.T.E of Illinois is to preserve the universal right to a safe and unrestricted motorcycling environment, and to promise and advocate actions that can be taken by elected and appointed officials to protect and conserve the natural resources of the state of Illinois, and ensure through professional management that sustainable use, recreational opportunities, and enjoyment of these resources is available for this and future generations. To fulfill this mission, we will safeguard the rights of all motorcyclists, endorse safety programs and education programs, promote unity through involvement, advocate in political awareness and activism, and promote motorcycling enjoyment. So, let's see. Today's, let's see. Hang on. That's what happens when you leave the, when you, let the inmates run the asylum. Today we're going to do, I don't know. We go to the website, but I hate to say on the website it says the TV show starts at 6:30. So we're already done. And I was going to get a flyer for the Spring Fling coming up, but of course, the one on the website says 2016. So, the 33rd annual A.B.A.T.E of Illinois Spring Fling at A.B.A.T.E Woods is Saturday, June 16th. Starts about 12 o'clock. Food, beverages, can't tell you how much it costs to get in. We'll just have to surprise you, because they won't let us do that on CAN TV. They won't let me smoke a cigar on CAN TV. So, huh? June 15th? Okay, June 15th. Of course, the guy that got the permits told me the 16th, so hopefully he's right, or wrong. So anyway, it's a good time. It's a fun time had by all. Maybe that's what we should do today, is go back a little bit, talk about the old days. Because sometimes they say if you don't study your history, you're doomed to repeat it. With A.B.A.T.E, it seems like that happens all the time. Let's see. A.B.A.T.E of Illinois, 1987. I believe we were started. Chicago chapter was started, I believe, in 86. and we proceeded to A.B.A.T.E, Illinois. And what happened was a bunch of guys from throughout the state figured we kind of better get together and work as a team to fight for the rights of all motorcyclists. Motorcyclists back then were really, nobody wanted them. It's funny because we have Toys for Tots, which is the world's largest motorcycle parade. But back then, you couldn't get into parades with your motorcycles. Politicians wanted nothing to do with you, although except for a few, and we give credit to those guys. Former Alderman William J.P. Banks, former state senator Jimmy DeLeo, former state rep Bob Bigelski, and they were all members of the Chicago chapter at one point. And I can remember a Chicago City Council meeting when Alderman Bert Nateris, for those of you who don't know, he was the predecessor of Brendan Riley down there in the 41st Ward, 42nd Ward downtown. And he hated us. He hated motorcycles. And I remember that because he always drove a little red sports car that sounded louder than my motorcycle when he revved the engine. But getting back to that, he stood up at a city council meeting and was talking about members of A.B.A.T.E, that we were no good, we're hooligans. I'm going to paraphrase some of this stuff because I got to tone it down a little bit because we are more in a PG. But anyway, he was really blasting, the organization and everything else. And Alderman Banks stood up and said, I take offense to what you're saying because I am a member of A.B.A.T.E, and you proceeded to kind of do that. And then you could actually see stuff changing. And that's what we mean by political activism. We get involved with campaigns, we do stuff that way. We definitely help people. A.B.A.T.E, Illinois, and the motorcycle riding community as a whole probably donate, I wouldn't even guess how much money and stuff like that for various causes. But that was after we had already fought. They wanted to ban motorcycles on Lakeshore Drive. Now, of course, everybody's like, oh, what do you mean? You can't ride a motorcycle on it. That's because of A.B.A.T.E, Illinois. And people talk about, well, you're resting on your laurels and stuff like that. No, what it is, and back then, it was late 70s, early 80s, they had signs up, no motorcycles allowed in neighborhoods. And between, I think it was 8 o'clock at night and, like 6 o'clock in the morning. Or it might have been the other way around, 6 o'clock at night and 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, the problem is if you lived on that block in that neighborhood and owned a motorcycle and you're coming home from work, how are you supposed to get your motorcycle to your house? And that was part of what we fought. We had some good friends in the Illinois State Legislature. Former state rep Joe Lyons, who I just saw a few weeks ago. And I believe he got up there when we were talking about you can't ban motorcycles on highways that are federally funded, and Lakeshore Drive is. But, and any municipality with home rule powers can't turn around and do anything against the Illinois Motor Vehicle Code. Now everybody's saying, okay, that's the 70s, that's the 80s, big deal. What about now? We ride our motorcycles on Lakeshore Drive all the time. Well, go back a couple years, and being a lifelong White Sox fan, I hate saying this, but thank God for the Cubs winning the World Series. Because that was the year Alderman Kappelman and Alderman Tunney had a town hall meeting at the police district right there down the block from Wrigley Field, talking about ways to stop the noise on Lakeshore Drive. Basically, the noise from motorcycles and people racing and stuff like that. And they were complaining about sound issues. That, yeah, they make a lot of noise. And we told them we would work with them on it. And then as we left the police station, we heard those big L trains rumbling along. And that noise didn't seem to bother anybody. And I believe the red line runs 24 hours. So it's not like, you get a break from that. And I don't remember if they had a night game at Wrigley Field that night, but you had all the stuff coming from like the Cubby Bear and that stuff. And then, of course, the Cubs won the World Series, and you had all that other noise down there. And they kind of let the issue drop. They did talk about putting up, and this is why we got to kind of be vigilant, they did pass a bill putting up sound registering devices, I believe it was the following year, along Lakeshore Drive. I don't know if they did it. I don't know if they don't. And the Bay of Illinois was not opposed to that. Because, one, we're not opposed to people. We're not opposed if you want to, have a restful night's sleep and everything else. What we oppose is you blaming motorcycles for everything. Because if that L train's running, that's not a motorcycle. If it's a car, I was on my way here on Austin Avenue. I was behind a little Toyota that had straight pipes on it and was blowing oil all over the place. And it was louder than my motorcycle. Burton and Terrace's little red sports car was louder than my motorcycle. So, and that's part of it. You've got cars racing up and down Lakeshore Drive. You've got motorcycles racing up and down Lakeshore Drive. We've always said motorcyclists are their own worst enemy. Why? Well, it's that certain amount of freedom we feel. You're seeing a couple of the insurance commercials, where it's like, this is somebody on their, this is somebody on their motorcycle, or this is somebody talking. This is somebody talking on their motorcycle, and you hear, hey, people laughing and stuff like that. Because I enjoy riding a motorcycle. I enjoy smoking a cigar. Then there were the forest preserves. It was illegal to ride motorcycles in Cook County Forest Preserves. Now, on Saturday, June 15th, A.B.A.T.E of Illinois Spring Fling is at A.B.A.T.E Woods, corner of Foster and Cicero. It's a forest preserve. Can you imagine if you couldn't ride a motorcycle in a forest preserve? How would people get in to go to the Spring Fling? And that's part of it. Like I said, sometimes I feel like I've been around forever. Sometimes it seems like it was only yesterday. And there's been a lot of good people and I've met along the way. And that's basically though, you never see a motorcycle parked in front of a psychiatrist's office. So, come on, somebody, call in. 312-738-1060, 1060. I know, we tried to get it to be, 73 A.B.A.T.E, but I don't know, Can TV doesn't like that. So, come on, call in. Somebody asked me. I'm dying here. I'm dying to light the cigar too. Let me roll back to what I got going. Let's see. Really? Okay. Oh, I can't say that. That's Pat texting. Thanks for doing the show. I'm all okay. Never mind. So let's see. And of course, Pat has all the stuff with me. With him. But let's see. Let's go to Chicago A.B.A.T.E. Okay. June 9th, 2019. Knees in the Breeze ride. Duquesne A.B.A.T.E. Starting point is the Toy Shop and Moto Lounge, 1728 Algonquin Road, Arlington Heights, Illinois. Registration at 9:30, kickstands up at 10:30. So, and I can't tell you how much. It's a 100-mile ride. If you didn't post on A.B.A.T.E of Illinois, shame on you. Saturday, August 3rd. You are invited to join us for our 11th annual Day at the Ren Fair. So, at the Bristol Renaissance Fair for feasting and foolery. Oh yeah, there's a lot of foolery there. That's something we've done, like I said, for 11 years. There is a code to call, and you can get discount tickets, but you got to basically call the Ren Fair. They do have free motorcycle parking, I believe, up in the front. So if you ride your bike, you get to park up at the front gate. If you drive your car, you got to park all the way in the back and walk all the way up. And I don't believe it's free. Might be free. I don't remember. So, John or Debbie, call in and let us know. Let's see. What else we got? Okay, let's see if I can do this. Overhead. Oh, okay. Now, like I said, I haven't done this in a few years. Like the cigar? Okay, we'll just do this to start with. A.B.A.T.E of Illinois State Party, June 20th to the 23rd, 2019, Menard County Fairgrounds, Petersburg, Illinois. Petersburg is about 10 miles north of Springfield. Opens at 9 a.m. on 6/20, closes at noon on the 23rd. Yeah, that's a Thursday, right? Thursday for the 20th, yeah. Okay. And then clothing, jewelry, parts and accessories, food. For advanced tickets, let's see, we got that down here now. Of course, we don't have that. By the way, you must be 18, no kids, no pets. Must be a current A.B.A.T.E member or MRF, AMA, or another state motorcycle riding association member to attend. A.B.A.T.E memberships are available at the gate. For advance tickets or an RV registration, call 1-800-87-A.B.A.T.E or A.B.A.T.E, as we say, or if you're south of I-80, A.B.A.T.E. Yes, I'm throwing a dig in at people. Okay, how do I find me again? Okay, there we go. So, okay, let me go back to that because I know you'd probably rather watch that than me. Start seeing motorcycles. Actually, this, I guess it's not stolen if we let them do it, but this is, that was, A.B.A.T.E has been saying start seeing motorcycles for many, many years. By the way, this is May. So it's May, so it is Motorcycle Awareness Month. And as I was on the highways and byways today, I happened to see up on there, it says on the signs, be alert for motorcycles. Okay, we got a caller. Ooh. Okay, put him through. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Dan.
Hello. How's the hubby?
He's doing good.
Okay,
So what'd you need?
what do I need? Oh,
Yeah, you said for one of us to call.
I'm dying out here, so.
Oh,
I need a friendly voice.
Jesus. Oh, God.
Do you have the date for the spring fling handy?
June 15th.
June 15th. Okay, because I
Yeah.
called Danny in Arkansas and he told me the 16th. So.
No, 15th. It's in my calendar for the 15th.
Okay. And we talked about Lady
Yeah.
Morgana's ride to the Ren Fair.
Yeah, that is August 3rd.
I just looked at it. I think it's the 5th.
Or
So,
the 5th. Yeah, one of the two. I have the flyers in my car.
yeah. But, I mean, I've got like 3 minutes to kill, so I appreciate your call. And I'm
No problem.
I'm just going to rant and rave some more.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Bye. Wrong button. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about CAN TV. And we can talk about CAN TV here because it's one of our running things is we've always asked for more money for CAN TV because Amari needs a raise and everything else. But these studios, compared to the old studios on Green Street, basically, and when they do the off off shows, you see all the tech board and everything else. In the old, and there's caller ID on these phones. In the old studios on Green Street, it looked like a secretary's phone with about 5 lines, and literally the end of the desk is here. They were sitting like right there on the other side of the desk, just outside of camera range. Had a nice little dry erase board so you could write stuff, like caller, And if anybody remembers back to then, we used to get the prank callers. We used to get the prank callers all the time. So, Oscar, we're going to 25? Okay.
Don't forget membership meeting.
See, I don't forget everything. So, I mean, we'd be throwing the dry erase thing at one another and everything else. And one of the best things was you had a button here to dump the call. You don't have that button here. So I got to depend on Oscar for it. So, it's been fun. I'll probably see you guys in another 2 years. But this is A.B.A.T.E of Illinois.
Membership meeting tomorrow.
Huh?
Membership meeting tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, membership meeting tomorrow night at the brewery on Harlem. Don't ask me the address. I have no idea. I just know where it is.
North Harlem.
What?
3848 North Harlem.
3848 North Harlem. See what happens when you hang out with Pat all the time? So that's tomorrow starting at 7:30. Great burgers at the brewery, too. So if you want to come and eat before the meeting. But good night.